Guys, so I'm going to do a new series that I want to do talking about the 10 commandments. Now, a lot of us probably know the 10 commandments, but I always think it's good to go back to the basics. So, what this video is going to serve as an introduction of the 10 commandments so we can go a little deeper. We can kind of set up what we're going to be talking about within this series. Now, the Ten Commandments are moral absolutes. They were spoken aloud by God, and everyone heard them. They require no further justification. They are non negotiable. This is where us as believers we set our morality from the Ten Commandments extending to the 613. Now, the 10 Commandments are well known. Even non believers and people from other religions are more or less familiar with the concept of the 10 Commandments. Now, in the United States, the political and social battles continue to be waged about whether or not it's even appropriate to display the 10 Commandments on public property. Now, popular culture abounds with jokes about breaking the 10 Commandments, but most people reflectively accept their moral authority. Now, in Hebrew, they are called the Aseret HaDavrim, which literally means the 10 words, but could more loosely be translated as the 10 matters. But how are the 10 commandments to be divided into 10? Now, in Judaism, the first commandment is reckoned to be the declaration, quote, I am the Lord, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, your God. Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. Now, this is traditionally understood as a commandment to believe in God. The second commandment is to have no other gods. Therefore, the Jewish understanding of the Ten Commandments is as follows. So we have the first one being, I am the Lord your God. The second, you shall have no other gods. The third, do not take the name in vain. Number 4, remember the Sabbath. Number 5, honor your father and mother. 6, you shall not murder. 7, you shall not commit adultery. 8, you shall not steal. 9, you shall not bear false witness. And 10, you shall not covet. And on the right hand side of all these verses, as you guys can see, I supplied the verses that the Jewish tradition uses for their 10 commandments. Now, in the traditional Jewish ordering of the commandments, the first 4 commandments refer to our obligations towards God, and the last 6 refer to our obligations towards our fellow man. In the early 5th century, the Christian theologian Augustine of Hippo combined the first 2 commandments into one commandment and split the prohibition in coveting into 2 commandments, one against coveting against a neighbor's wife and one against coveting his property. Augustine's list became the standard for the Roman Church. And this is it, as you can see right here. So the first one is, you shall have no other gods. Number 2, do not take the name in vain. 3, remember the Sabbath. 4, honor your father and mother. 5, you shall not murder. 6, you shall not commit adultery. 7, you shall not steal. 8, you shall not bear false witness. 9, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. And 10, you shall not covet your neighbor's property, with the verses again on the right hand side. And this is popular for the Catholics, Lutherans, and the Anglicans or High Protestants, you can also name them to be. Now, the Eastern Orthodox churches have followed a slight variation on the Jewish reckoning. Rather than regarding the statement, I am the Lord your God, in Exodus chapter 20, verse 2, as a separate commandment, they list the first 2 commandments as the prohibition on having other gods and the prohibition on idols. The Greek reckoning is as follows. Number 1, you shall have no other gods. Number 2, do not make idols. 3, do not take the name in vain. 4, remember the Sabbath. 5, honor your father and mother. 6, you shall not murder. 7, you shall not commit adultery. 8, you shall not steal. 9, you shall not bear false witness. And 10, you shall not covet. And again, all the verses are on the right hand side. Now, the 10 commandments were spoken aloud by God in Exodus chapter 20, written in stone by his own finger, Exodus 31:18, 32, 15, and 16, and chiseled into a second set of stone tablets by Moses, Exodus 34:28. Now, Moses repeats the 10 words to the assembly of Israel in Deuteronomy 5 6 to 21. Regardless of how they are numbered, the 10 commandments continue to speak across the centuries. The voice from Sinai echoes even today in the lives of millions of people. So that is the introduction of these 10 commandments that we will be going over. Each episode will be going over one individually. So I hope you enjoyed this series and let me know what you think down below. Shalom.